might find something of this, or Phil can edit something useful, so that oh, we're so nice in Morven, and we dress magnificent wells, and in fact they're all so magnificent that Dr. John had to instigate a new section of prize.
New category.
A new category, that's the word I'm groping for. You're very good, Phil. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Gotta be lucky.
Morning, John. Or evening, John. Afternoon, John.
Hello there, Phil. Hi.
Yeah, I did reply to your email, but it's a bit late. Sorry, but thank you very much for your kind words.
That's all right. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much.
You haven't changed a bit.
Thank you.
Very
I tell you, that's quite a relief. More for me than you, probably, but that's really good.
Have you got anybody else to come? Yes, we haven't got Kirsty, have we?
No, we've got Kirsty at the bottom. Hello, Kirsty. We've probably got lots, and I'll let folk on as they do arrive, hopefully. So, yes,
Oh,
John.
I can see Kirsty. Hello, Kirsty.
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, great.
So, can we start at Orion? Is Anna Mitchell, who did St Anne's Well.
Hello.
John, with Rachel Cherry. I keep pronouncing her wrong.
It's Sherry. But you
Sherry.
wouldn't know.
Sherry, not Cherry, Sherry.
Sherry like the drink.
Right. Then we've got Andy Dodds is Anne and, oh, I forget. Sorry.
Maria.
Oh, Maria. Thank you, thank you.
And Bertie's the dog.
So,
Maria,
oh, their little Berry who dressed Willow Spring.
yeah.
Then we have Famous Sue, Hey Slad,
Famous Sue.
Famous Sue, and also Temperance. And Phil.
And me.
And Phil. And Kirsty, who did a magnificent job on Malvina.
Yay!
Mm.
Yeah. Kirsty,
Kirsty. Kirsty,
Hello. Hello.
I'm the only one from your group, or have you got any more?
Well, I did send the invite out, but I just not sure what people's plans were. That's all.
Right.
For sure. So I'm here to represent them, but they do
Good.
know about it. In case they may
Yeah.
join, but I'm not certain.
Right. Well, you tell them what we're going to say in the next
I
half
will
hour,
do.
won't you?
I will. Yeah.
Right. Shall I kick off, or what do you think?
that'd be marvellous, John. Do you want to say a few words? Then I think I can show pictures. So
Ooh.
we can start off with pictures of Dingle Spring.
Yeah.
Woo.
So after you said a few words, oh yes.
Exciting.
Now, the reason I wanted to see you all was because over the years I've seen lots of well dressings, and they seem to get better every year. But it hasn't been too difficult to give the chairman's cup until this year, when it was virtually impossible. I needed 4 cups. So I decided that the best way of doing it was to give 1 cup, and then to all the others who deserved cups to have a certificate, gold, with all right, with highly commended by the chairman. So that's what all of you are going to get, apart from Phil. And I think it's been a great year for well dressing. I mean, it's been a difficult year for us, hasn't it, with COVID? And we couldn't do our usual things in Priory Park and so on, no minibuses and whatnot. So I'm very glad to be able to say thank you for such a wonderful year. Rick and I earlier this week sent off a press release to the Gazette, which I thanked everybody and mentioned a few names as well, and said how good everything was. And would you believe it, in today's Gazette, there is nothing that Rick and I sent on Tuesday. So I hope that we can put what I said onto the website so that people will know how good you all were this year. And I think that's enough of an introduction from me. So let's go and talk about Phil.
Okay, so look, what I'd like to do is, if I can do it, swap screens and work through pictures, share. I'm actually a bit far ahead here. We're going to have to come back. So, you'll see what you're going to be having to talk about. Right, here we go. This is the beginning.
Yes.
John, ask Phil some questions about it.
Phil, how long did it take you to do all this? Because it looks as if it took you weeks.
Well, I had it in my mind for quite a while of what to do, and the idea of floating around. I knew fairly early on I'd like to do the solar system in some way or another. So the whole thing was in my head, just trundling around, working out how to do it.
Yeah.
And in normal form, I got it all prepared in my head. I'd brought all the materials and got everything ready. And on Wednesday morning before the well dressing, at around about 7 o'clock in the workshop, I started. And that was cutting out the wood and everything else. Again, I planned it all in my head, and I painted everything and sorted that out by the end of Wednesday, which was quite a long day.
Yeah.
Thursday, I then retouched everything and started to put it together and work out what to do, and also collecting all the materials I needed. That included the lights and other things and how I was going to connect those. So that was Thursday taken care of. That was really getting the logistics of it and putting it on the car. I'd also gone up previously on a Thursday night to test the lights and make sure they worked in some form and order, how I was going to do it. And then started on Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning and went through to around about 8 o'clock at night-ish. So that was 3 days solid work.
Yeah.
I didn't do it in little bits. I do generally do that. Not always. Some of the wells I have done previously, but this one was nice. It's always nice for me to do it all in one go, one day after another. So that was 3 days in total, sort of making it, sorting out, preparing it, and putting it up.
Well, it's amazing. How did you get your electricity? Did you use batteries or?
Yeah, for the one in the in between. Oh, the globe in the middle. I actually did that around about a week or so before, because I was sat down on the allotment thinking, I think I ought to make a planet somehow out of wood. So I made that out of withies. I wasn't too sure I was going to do with it until I really got there, and I thought I was going to make another planet, but it seemed to be the best thing to do it in the middle of the sun. The electricity, the ones in the middle are batteries, and they've lasted well, and they're still going now. I might have to change them for the weekend. And then all the others, including the spots coming down, are solar lamps, solar lights, which I'm very impressed with, actually. Those ones coming down, they've got 5 or 6 LEDs in them, and they really do light up very well. They're very good.
They're very effective, aren't they?
Yeah. And I was very pleased because on the Friday when I'd finished, it wasn't dark and the lights hadn't gone on, and I really needed to go back and go to bed, really. And I was going to go out later, but I didn't. So I didn't see them until the Saturday evening later on. And I was very pleased that I didn't have to adjust anything. Mostly it was all the stars behind were as they were. And that was it. And I was very pleased. So that was good. It all worked out. All worked out very well.
Good. Were you affected by the rain that we had on Monday?
No. Oh, the wind was probably the worst. and because of the way it was with some of the planets hanging, I thought there would be a problem. But because they were hung with withies, and there's a good amount of flexibility in them, they took the wind very well. So they did bend like a willow. It did work out very well. Yeah, I was very pleased about that. Yeah,
Good.
and I'm also very, very pleased, and it is very, very gratifying and kind of humbling. Is a lot of people have gone to see it, and then they've gone back at night to see it in the dark, which I think is lovely. So that's made me feel very well. It's just very happy, and it's very nice. It's brought some fun to people.
Yeah, well, my disappointment was that I couldn't get up to it because my legs are not good enough now. Anyway, looking at the photographs is spectacular. Is it true that this is the first gold you've had?
It is, yes. I
can't believe that.
Yeah, it's the first gold. I've been involved with Malvina when it was back in 2020, probably in the few years before that. I was involved, but and we had golds then. But my name was never on the teams, although I did quite a lot of work for it. But this is the first time I've had a gold for myself. Yeah, of course, if you remember, about 10 years ago, I think it was, when I did the train, I got the Chairman's Cup then as well. So I've had the Chairman's Cup twice then.
I have never forgotten the train.
Yeah, that was.
I was able to get up the hill that way. It was marvellous. The smoke coming out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so thank you very much, John.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Now the cup is in the hands of Rick at the moment. He's going to deliver it to me, and I'd like to arrange with you to hand it over personally.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. No problem at all. Yes, I'd like that. Very nice to do.
Well, thank you very much. Very interesting to talk to you.
Yeah, now, it's always nice to talk to you.
We'll go on to Hey Slad now, shall we, Rick?
Please, Sue. Yes. This is Sue's department.
Hello.
Hello, Sue.
Hello, John.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I couldn't see it very well when I went round the hills at the weekend because there were so many people.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get it to the blessing, and there were so many cars we couldn't park.
No, it was crazy up there.
It was, wasn't it?
Well, anyway, but because we had the blessings, it got a bit, a bit busy. Yeah. It was lovely to see people out there enjoying it.
I know. I've never seen so many cars parked in peculiar places on the hills over the weekend. And, all the people who came to look at the dressings. How many people helped you, Sue?
Well, the main people in the team is myself and Janet, who can't make it tonight. Then we have a few members of our family who tag on because they love it so much, they join in. For example, Janet's daughter, I think there's a picture of it, she painted the goddess Rhiannon and the moon, which was stunning. I was just so impressed with her painting.
Yes, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Beautiful. I didn't know that was coming up, and I was just gobsmacked by that. So, you know, the family all behind us and love what we do and join in. But ultimately, it's Janet and I.
Right.
She takes the one side and I take the other.
Oh, I see. Who does the middle bit?
Well, I did the middle bit. Because I started with the idea of the sun, knowing that it is such a big site, I have to have a big focus in the middle.
Of course you do, yes.
And then I met Janet, and every year she says, I haven't got time, Sue. And then the more I speak to her about it, the more she wants to do it again. So she did the moon and I did the earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it worked out very well. Now, I looked up Facebook earlier this afternoon, and I found your poem.
Oh, did you? long
Yes.
poem, all the wells. Yes.
And I thought it was wonderful,
Oh, thank you.
absolutely incredible. So
Yeah.
I hope we can publicise it.
Yes.
Do you
Well,
mind?
great. Yeah.
You deserve it. And of course, I love the ending. Anything possible.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
even managed to get Elgar in, didn't you?
Yeah. I've got a lot of them in. I missed a few, but I got quite a lot of them in.
Yeah.
So that was fun, actually. It was really nice to put it all together, and a whole I actually took the poem up in a frame and put it by the bench there.
Oh, did you? Yes, I can see it there on the bench. Yeah. But I didn't get as far as that, as you can gather. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So
and that picture is brilliant.
oh yeah, there's the witch, which
Yes.
is brilliant. And the beauty of it is Janet and I think in a very similar way, and it works. So the contrast, she did the black and the silver, and then the earth being just full of color,
Yes.
worked really well. Yeah. So it always just comes together on the Friday afternoon. Yeah.
Oh, it's worthwhile going onto Facebook to see the photographs they've got, which have little explanations on the bottom. And you'll see, of course, a whole range of the well dressings.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
had to look at them all. They're just amazing.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's the way people interpret them fascinates me.
Me
You know?
too.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating, like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
interpretation. I mean, we've got so many talented people doing the well dressing.
We have. It's contagious, you know. You can't stop.
Oh, is that it?
Once you start, you can't stop. That's it. Right. You're
Right,
stuck.
now we better get on to Malvina.
Yeah.
Kirsty, how long did it take your team, and how many are there in your team?
Okay, I think on Rick's information, I think we'd put 10, but actually we were a team of 7 in the end. 7 members of staff from our DT department. And we had a bit of a planning meeting and kind of sketched it out a little bit. Then we met after school, probably just twice, to make bunting and laser cut out some wooden stars. And my colleague Emily tie-dyed the fabric. She's our textiles teacher, so she did the backdrop of fabric. And then I made the willow. Well, Phil helped me actually get the willow and helped me form the outer ring, which is meant to be a moon actually. And then I stuck on little shell circles and tied on little bits of white fabric. So the idea was that it would kind of be white, but still you'd be able to see through it.
Yes.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. And then the planters are kind of made of covered in old t-shirts and colourful tights tied around them.
Yeah.
So we were basically, yeah.
I gather
we
you used everything you could that was recyclable.
Yeah, it was all recycled, and we didn't, all the fabric, just scraps, and then we just picked out the colours we wanted, sort of blues and purples. We just kept going with the bunting. We did measure it, and my friend Emily remembers the measurement. I can't remember, but we were thinking, oh, let's just keep going, see how much we can make. So we were able to kind of take it across to link the site over to Elgar a little bit.
Yes.
And then we had lots of little strips of fabric that we just tied onto the railings just to bring it all together, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very effective anyway.
Thank you.
And, you did her proud. Did you have to dye anything, or was it natural colours as well?
It's tie-dyed, but I don't know what Emily used for that.
No.
But she chose, you know, the colours, and we didn't know how it would turn out, but actually the colours worked really well, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So yeah, all good. And then we went up on the Friday after school. We got there about 4 o'clock, and it took us, 7 of us, probably about 2 hours to put everything together. And it just kind of happens like it always does, you know. I'm like, it'll be okay. Rick knows what I'm like. Yeah, it'll be fine. And it was.
Well, it did work. You're quite right.
Can I just say, Kirsty's motto and famous words are, "It will be fine," meaning don't panic, just do it. And it always is.
Yeah.
Well, will you give our congratulations to the rest of your team, please?
I will do. And thank you. I took these certificates and the rosettes in, and we're going to display those in our DT department. So
Good.
Thank you for that. It's brilliant.
A pleasure. As I say, the only difficulty was I couldn't give you all a cup as well.
Oh.
Right. Let's get on to St Anne's Well. Anna, where are you?
I'm
Hello.
here, even though it says Orion. Although Orion was,
yes.
Orion was a part of it too.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well, I did see we managed to get up to Holywell, and I liked this as well, as you can imagine.
St Anne's Well. Do you mean St Anne's?
I didn't get to St Anne's, no.
Oh,
I got
okay.
to Holywell, but that's as far.
Okay.
No, it's too much to get up that zigzag path.
Yeah.
Now, how long did it take you, Anna?
Oh gosh, I don't know. we never have a plan. We just my friend Becky, who isn't here today, we gathered in her garden and we didn't really have an idea, and we just said, let's just start making stars. So we started making all the cardboard stars, and then Rachel, I can't see Rachel on my screen, she's here somewhere, I'm sure.
Hello.
It was her first time for well dressing, because she's recently moved to Malvern, so she came and joined making stars. And then Leo, Becky's son, he said, what about the Little Prince? So it was Becky's son's idea, who's 8 years old, for us to do the Little Prince. So we had, Rachel, what, 2-3 sessions of star making, probably, I think.
We did 3 in total, yeah.
Yeah, and then Rachel and I made a scarecrow body for the Little Prince.
Yeah.
We then gave the body to Becky, and she dressed him based on the film, because it's based on a recent
Yes. He's lovely.
Animation of the Little Prince.
Yeah.
Moccasin feet, whilst I made the head in my studio at home, paper mache head on a balloon, and the Little Prince didn't meet his head until the day that we dressed the well. So we've got pictures actually of he just had a stick out the top, and we were like, fingers crossed the head will fit. And luckily, I felt under quite a lot of pressure because Leo kept saying, I hope Anna gets the head right. I hope it looks like the Little Prince. And thankfully it did. So yeah, and she made the fox as well. So we often, I mean, there are a couple of friends who are from out of the area who didn't join this year. You know, we've kept it more local, but we often just kind of start with an idea and have a couple of meetups, and then we'll go off and make our own separate bits, and a bit in the same way we go, yeah, it'll come together, and it always does. We're always very kind of organic with how it comes together. And literally on the day, Becky brought up all the foliage and the gold tablecloths. None of that was planned. She just turned up with that, and
oh really,
just put it together. And in fact, I think I decided to make the planet the night before. That's kind of how it works. And yeah, we're really happy with it. And then, of course, it's got music. I don't know if you know that, John. So
no, I didn't know that bit. Tell me more.
So that's my son Orion. Hence, I'm on his Zoom account here. He's at Bristol studying music at the moment, and he'd written a piece of ambient music called "Stars We Call a Galaxy."
Yes.
And he used to work at St Anne's Well. So he came back and he's rigged up a little speaker and he's put the music on a loop. So when you lean in through the bars to the well room, the music's kind of drifting out. And then John, who runs the cafe, got very excited and projected first of all the film and then NASA live stream on the walls. So it was a very big collaborative project where different things kept getting thrown in. So
it's amazing how it all came together, isn't it, and gelled perfectly. Gosh.
I don't know, Rachel, have you anything to add to the tale of
No, you put it beautifully. Just to say that if you haven't seen it in person, the music it's just so atmospheric when you go there. It really makes it like a kind of an art installation. And I was just so impressed, even though we dressed it the day before when I first came back and saw it with the music. It was just amazing. Really beautiful to hear it come together.
Oh, that's great. I mean, talking of music, the Tyrrell House spout on the Wells Road, opposite the college, Abbey College, the family who did that organised, if you press a button, Halt Planets music to go with it.
Rachel and I went to that together.
You did?
Yeah, I love that one.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think this idea of putting music in, it's very, very, as you say, atmospheric. Yeah. Oh, gosh. So thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you. And as I say, Becky and Leo were very much a part of this too, but
well, will you give them our best wishes and say how much we enjoyed it? And we hope they'll come again next year.
Yeah, sure we will.
Right, Willow Spring. Now, I've looked at the Willow Spring for years and years and years, and I think this is the best dressing of the Willow Spring I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
I really am impressed by it, I've told lots of people to go down towards Cornwall. So there'll be a queue of cars going down there, and of course for me it was quite easy. We could stop on the opposite side of the road, and I could photograph the well from the car with my camera.
Oh, that's good.
So how long did it take you to do this? Because you've got a full-size man, really, haven't you?
We kind of started mid-year, didn't we? Yeah, with just the idea of doing, we just wanted to do a man. We just thought, let's just start with a man. So we started off with wire and sorting out the different lengths, didn't we? And we did make a huge error when we started off, because we measured the skeleton and then put it to scale, and we got our centimetres and inches muddled up. So he would have been twice that size if we'd have carried on with our first measurement.
He'd have been a giant, wouldn't he?
He would have been a giant. We wouldn't have been able to get him out the house. And then when we heard about stars and planets, we thought, let's do an astronomer. Yeah. And it all came together then.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're similar in that we couldn't do it separately. We've been we are testing. Is it 3 years? Yeah. Yeah, 4, because we'd actually prepared for last year, which didn't happen. So we put what we'd made outside the house. So it's 4 we've done, isn't it? But we do work together and we bounce ideas off each other. So yeah, it works. And we love it. Yeah, we do. I think we're on mute, Andy. No, we're not.
You're
No,
not.
Oh,
Can I add, I really liked behind where you'd got the symbols that you could go and play.
oh, yeah.
That was really fun.
Well, on the Monday, when we had the really bad weather and it was raining and blowing a gale, we went down to check everything, but it wasn't in the road. And there was a young family and a little boy and girl, they're about 3 and 4, and they were playing the cymbals in the rain, and they were for it, and it was the most joyful sight.
Gosh, yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. And may I ask, is this the sound of the universe, the sound of the heavens? Why symbols?
Well, we thought they kind of looked a bit like planets, well, solar systems, or UFOs. And in fact, we had gone past a skip outside of school, and the skip had these symbols in. So we phoned up and said, would you mind if we had the symbols? Because we thought, well, we never know, we might use them for something. They'll come in handy, well dressing. And then we thought, well, is there any way we can use the symbols? And we thought, well, yeah, they look a bit like UFOs, they look a bit like planets. So let's just put them up and make it interactive, and the kids can come along and they have to bash away at them. And the odd thing is that the make on the symbols is actually planets. So
really?
Yeah.
That's a brilliant story. It really is. Yeah.
But we did ask before we went skip diving.
You did. Yeah.
We did.
Well,
and we've got to the point now that whenever we go past a skip, we look with half an eye towards well dressing. Because our garage is just getting filled with rubbish. It is.
now, this is where I want to tell you that we are having Malvern in Bloom this year.
Oh.
It's going to be a portfolio of photographs for the judges to see in August, not earlier, as when we dressed Wells for that. So we need to pick out your photos and some of the others that would you sort of think about this, ones that you think the judges will appreciate? I think we ought to mention the music that was used on these dressings, and I would like the judges to see Sue's poem.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know what the rest of you think about this, but if we can have some feedback, I think it's important, because we want to keep our golds, don't we? Malvern in Bloom.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we've got lots of things we can send into them. Yeah, definitely, loads.
I don't know whether we can use a video, but it would be nice, wouldn't it, to do with the twinkling stars and things. But I'll find out about that, whether we could send a video in.
Portfolio, yes, it's, well, I forget her name now, is putting it together at the town council, so I'm sure everything will be admissible. The main thing will be, no, 4 hours is enough well dressers. We'll have to have something from everyone else.
Why?
Yeah, let's do a takeover.
We are Malvern.
Oh.
We are Malvern.
So I think, I don't know, do we give each other a pat on the back?
Yes.
Gosh, haven't we done well? Gosh, haven't we done well?
Yeah. Again, thank you very much, everybody. And thanks for joining in this afternoon, because it's been fun to hear your stories and how things came together. So I'm so pleased you came along, and I shall remember this.
Marvellous. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay,
John.
thank you.
you.
Yeah, thanks very much. John.
Thank
Lovely
you,
to see
Rick.
you. Yeah, thanks, Rick.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Oh,
Great.
Great
All
to
the
see
best.
a number of you who I
Yeah,
haven't seen
wonderful.
before.
thank
Thanks, Anna. Bye-bye. Thanks, Rachel. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Marvellous.
I loved all your
Bye.
wells. I loved them all.
you.